We have to take our hats off to you, the late, great Robin Williams, for your amazing ad-lib work on Aladdin. The Genie brings non-stop laughs to the movie, and that's thanks to you, not only the scriptwriters. Your improvisation skills are second to none. All those accents and crazy voices make the Genie one of the most loved characters in the Disneyverse. And what makes your performance even more incredible is that you came up with so much of it off the top of your head.
That's it. 3. 1, 2, 3. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
So many Disney scenes are iconic, we can't imagine them being any other way. But did you know lots of them were actually improvised? Keep watching to the end to discover which hilarious scene in Frozen 2 wasn't even in the script.
Tell me, you're older and thus all-knowing. Do you ever worry about the notion that nothing is permanent?
Aladdin. The Genie in Aladdin is one of Robin Williams' most iconic roles, and a lot of that is down to his own lines. The movie makers wanted the comedian to play the Genie from the get-go and actually wrote the script with him in mind. But ironically, Robin improvised a huge amount of his lines. Take the Pinocchio gag, for example.
I'll do it. I'll set you free.
Yeah, right.
No, really, I promise.
Robin totally came up with that hilarious moment. When they tried it out with test audiences, it was so popular that the filmmakers had to go back and add extra frames to the scene. This is almost unheard of, as animated movies usually have lots of frames cut in the edit suite. Robin also ad-libbed calling Aladdin Al, and that stuck too. We often get little-known nuggets of information when Disney adds a commentary to the extras on the DVD release of a movie, and when Aladdin was released on DVD in 1994, the co-directors and co-producer added their commentary to the film. John Musker, Ron Clements, and Amy Pell revealed just how much Robin Williams ad-libbed, and not just as the Genie, but also as the narrator. The narrator's lines at the beginning were scripted, but when they fell flat, the crew brought Robin a bunch of props to use as inspiration. Once he was done goofing off in the studio, they picked out the best bits. Toy Story. Robin Williams' improv skills in Aladdin are so inspiring that even other actors measure themselves against his ad-lib wit. Take Tim Allen, the voice of Buzz Lightyear. Allen used to love ad-libbing when he filmed Toy Story, but the movie makers, well, not so much. Allen revealed that when he ad-libbed, it was nothing like Robin Williams' performance when he did Aladdin. He admitted it wasn't a happy moment for the animators. If what he said was funny, they knew they'd have to go back and reanimate the scene. So which of Allen's ad-lib moments made the cut? When Woody tells Buzz, "You're a toy," Allen came up with his own retort off the cuff. "You're a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity." But all good things come to an end, and the movie makers weren't quite so indulgent as time went on. Allen admitted that eventually they'd tell him to just read the script. Ouch. The Lion King. When Simba asks Timon to create a diversion to distract the hyenas, the meerkat comes out with one of the best lines in The Lion King. He replies,
"What do you want me to do, dress and drag and do the hula?"
Nathan Lane, the voice behind Timon, actually ad-libbed that line. It was so well received that movie makers ran with it, with the gag extending to Timon and Pumbaa's Hawaiian luau. Timon points out how good Pumbaa would taste to lure the hyenas over. In the live-action remake of the 1994 animation, however, this improvised scene is changed. Rather than do a hula dance, Timon makes a reference to Beauty and the Beast by singing "Be Our Guest." He still points out how good Pumbaa would taste, but this time it's in a Lumiere-style French accent. Speaking of Beauty and the Beast, there were improvised lines in the final cut of that movie too. Beauty and the Beast. Cogsworth and Lumiere provided a lot of comedy in Beauty and the Beast, and it wasn't all scripted. The candlestick and the clock riff off of each other a lot, especially during their interactions with the Beast. So it's not a total surprise that some of the funniest lines were improvised. Remember that scene when the Beast is out in the snow? He tells Cogsworth Lumiere wants to do something special for Belle, but he doesn't know what. Cogsworth replies, "Well, there's the usual things, flowers, chocolates, promises you don't intend to keep." It's such a funny moment, and what makes it even funnier is that the actor behind Cogsworth's voice, David Ogden Stiers, ad-libbed that line. The directors liked it so much, it made the final cut. Alice in Wonderland. Back in the day, Walt Disney sometimes used the actors as models. This was so the animators could capture their movement as reference for their cartoon counterparts. And on one such occasion, the ad-libbed lines were so good they actually made the final cut. The scene in the Mad Hatter's Tea Party from Alice in Wonderland. Ed Wynn, who voices the Mad Hatter, was given a load of props to play with at a tea party table on the soundstage, and so was Jerry Colonna, who voices the March Hare. Their slapstick humor, funny lines, and gags were almost all entirely improvised. The intention was for the Disney animators to get their movements, but the words were so good straight off the bat that they kept them. You can even watch the footage of the process. Before we reveal which part of Frozen 2 was improvised, we want to make sure you'll be the first to watch our latest Disney videos. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the things and tap that notification bell. If you're watching on your phone, go to your YouTube settings and turn on your notifications. Now, back to ad-libbing. Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. Johnny Depp's popular line "Savvy" in Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl were actually improvised. The actor kept using it throughout the movies. He also ad-libbed the line towards the end of the movie, "Bring me that horizon." But that's not all. There was a whole ad-libbed riff that sadly didn't make the final cut, but the deleted scene can be seen on the DVD release of Curse of the Black Pearl. Lee Ehrenberg, the actor who plays Pintel, revealed that he and Depp improvised a scene that led to rather funny consequences. It happens when Pintel corners Jack Sparrow in the caves of Isla de Muerta. They have a conversation about the word parlay. The scene was meant to end when Jack explains it was the French who thought of parlay, but Depp and Ehrenberg start improvising about the French.
Parlay?
Brother Bear. Improvisation is a seriously impressive skill to have as an actor. That's particularly the case when you're a child and you're ad-libbing off another actor's mistake. That's what happened during the recording of Brother Bear. Joaquin Phoenix slipped up with one of his lines as Kenai, accidentally referring to Coda's friend as Binky instead of Bucky. The young actor behind Coda's voice, Jeremy Suarez, had a lightning-fast response. It was so funny, it made the cut.
His name's Bucky, not Binky. Second, it wasn't a pine cone, it was a pine nut.
Zootopia. Jason Bateman got the chance to do a lot of improv in his role as cunning fox Nick Wilde in Zootopia. In an interview, Bateman revealed that there was lots of room to make stuff up during the recording. The actor explained that it was a team effort with them all working together to make each other laugh. There was so much ad-libbing that he forgets how much of the dialogue in the movie was written or scripted. He was keen to point out, however, that they didn't need to make up new lines. The writers did a great job putting it all together, but the actor thought maybe they wanted to hear some different words. The ice cream parlor scene is one such moment that was thanks to Bateman's improvisation skills. Nick wants to buy a jumbo pop but pretends to lose his wallet, forcing Judy to pay for him. And it turns out that Bateman came up with that whole scenario while he was in the recording booth. Impressive work. Hercules. Before Cheyenne Jackson took on the role of Hades in Descendants 3, James Woods provided the villain's voice in the animated movie Hercules, and James brought a lot of his own ideas to the role. In an interview, the actor revealed that right from the get-go, he was improvising his own lines. The first line he had was, "I am Hades, Lord of the Underworld," and he outright told the movie makers it wasn't a funny line. So they invited him to show them how he'd do it, and he came up with his own version. In fact, he ad-libbed the whole scene, and then almost every line he did for the movie was ad-libbed. James even says he came up with the idea of Hades' hair being on fire, and that was inspired by John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. James also admitted he came up with a lot of ad-libs in Surf's Up too. James still feels very fondly towards the fast-talking fiend, Hades. In 2017, he revealed on Twitter that Hades is one of his personally cherished creations, and he can certainly take a lot of credit for creating those characters, as he points out he got to do a lot of improvisation on the voice work for the movie. Frozen 2. Josh Gad, the actor who voices Olaf, is an improv legend. In the first Frozen movie, he got to ad-lib a lot of his own lines, most notably when he first meets Anna, Kristoff, and Sven. But he managed to top that in Frozen 2. Remember the scene when Olaf is calling out for Sven in the Enchanted Forest and starts calling out for Samantha? It's right before he launches into his big song, When I Am Older. It's one of the funniest moments in the sequel. Even Olaf finds it funny because he doesn't even know a Samantha. Well, what makes it even more hilarious is that Josh made up that line on the spot. The actor revealed on Twitter that it's never ceased to amaze him how he's allowed to improv something clinically insane in a sound booth. And then the best animators in the world take his nonsense and bring it to life, and that's throughout the process of making both films. He uploaded the Samantha scene to his social media post, proving that he's one of the best ad-libbers out there. It's a favorite moment in the movie not just for fans, but also for the voice cast themselves. Evan Rachel Wood, who voices Queen Iduna, tweeted Josh to say she can't stop quoting that line. He sweetly responded by saying that they're even, as his girls can't stop singing the lullaby she performs in the movie All Is Found. Which improvised scene do you think is the best? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Please give this video a big thumbs up. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching The Things.